Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Jennifer for the Median in the Land Rover Defender 90. That's the short one, the two-door. The Defender. Man. Iconic status. You know, normally when you say cars are iconic, it's like sports cars, like the Porsche 911, or even the Ford Mustang. That's kind of an icon. But the Defender is an icon. Thing's been around forever, and they're super utilitarian. Absolutely, you know, farm, agricultural, militaristic type trucks, serious trucks, go anywhere capability. Land Rover used to have the slogan, the best 4x4 by far. And in fact, Land Rover says that this new Defender is the most capable Land Rover they have built to date. So if you get a Defender, you got a couple options. There's the Defender, which you can get in an S, SE, or HSE. The X Dynamic Defender, which you can also get in S, SE, or HSE. Then the Defender X. Then the first edition, like the one that we're driving with you today. And on top of that, there are different packages that you can do for your Defender. The Explorer Pack, the Adventure Pack, the Country Pack, and the Urban Pack. There's the inline 4-cylinder engine, which is good for just under 300 horsepower and just under 300 pound-feet of torque, 295, 296. And that's turbocharged 4. And then you can get this engine. This is an inline 6 that's turbocharged and supercharged. It's a mild hybrid engine. It's good for just under 400 horsepower and just over 400 pound-feet of torque. Not bad. The inline 6-cylinder Ingenium engine has mild hybrid technology. It has both a conventional twin-scroll turbocharger and a 48-volt electric supercharger with a belt-integrated starter motor in place of the alternator to assist the gas engine. There's also a 48-volt lithium-ion battery that stores energy captured as the vehicle slows down. There's an option for a V8 now with 100 horsepower more than this vehicle has. It's probably a screamer. Do you need it? No. Do I want it? Sure. Definitely not necessary. This is probably more fuel efficient than that. And over about 350 miles the past few days, we've averaged about 17.9 miles per gallon. And again, this thing's always running all four wheels. So that's not horrible for a strong, purpose-built truck. The V8 would probably get 13. I'm just guessing. And because it's a Defender, this is full-time all-wheel drive. This isn't like on-demand electronic four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. This is full-time four-wheel drive. You're cranking wheels all the time because this thing can climb up mountains. This thing can go down mountains. It can go across mountains sideways. It can do that at 45 degrees. 45 degrees on a side slope or up or down a mountain. 45 degrees. That's awesome. You know what else this thing can do? It can wade through 35.4 inches of water. That's almost 3 feet of water. What's really cool is when you put the terrain response system in wade mode, the little cameras come on the mirrors. So you can watch the water, watch the waves you're making. That's cool. The terrain response system has general driving, and then grass, gravel, and snow, then mud and ruts, then sand, then rock crawl, and then wade, which you can take through 35.4 inches of water. So, a lot of people were concerned when Land Rover announced the new Defender, because the old Defender has been around for so long and is so iconic. I think it looks cool. The entire structure is a monocoque structure, and according to Land Rover, that has 3 times the rigidity of a body-on-frame design. So the suspension can do all the stuff it's got to do. And you can get coilover springs as standard, or you can get an air suspension, which is what this vehicle has. which will go 5.8 inches above its normal drive, or 3.5 inches above, or like 1.4 or 1.5 inches below the normal drive, depending upon what mode you put your little train response thing in. The instrument cluster is all digital, just like pretty much all new cars these days. And the center console is digital, and it has what Land Rover calls Pivi Pro, their interactive system. I will say, it's a little slow to react, but it's better than what I've seen in some other models that come from the Land Rover Range Rover family. And the screen sizes are nice. Its on-road manners are actually quite good. I mean, we're driving on twisty mountain roads here, and at the speed limit, you know? So the on-road manners are really quite good. And the off-road manners, not so bad. So, the Defender really does do what a Defender's supposed to do. There are some interesting quirks in this vehicle. You know, there's exposed lattice work up here in the front, which is awesome. Like, you can grab handles and shelves, and the screen that's on the center console here, you can actually go behind there and stick stuff in there. There's a grab handle on the side of the dashboard, but that's not where you want it when you get in. You kind of want it up here on the A-pillar. So there's something to pull yourself up, not across. That's kind of weird. Something that I think is really weird is this. It's a retractable roof panel that's cloth. Yeah. No. We would pass on that. This vehicle, this is a first edition Defender 90, and they've added the optional third seat, like a little jump seat here in the middle instead of a storage console. So speaking of seats, the Defender 90 is a 2-door, the 110 is the 4-door. There are seats behind me. To get to those seats, not the smoothest transition in the world. You would think that the little handle that's here, you would pull that, the seat slides forward. Ease of access. Nope. You pull that, and then there's a button right over here on my shoulder that you push, and you wait. And you wait. And you wait. So once you're in the back seat, it's pretty comfortable. There's plenty of headroom, lots of hip room, plenty of feet room actually, and there's not only a big long monster side window, but you got those cool little glass windows up on top. So it is usable space. The space behind the back seats, on the other hand, I mean, you could probably fit 5 or 6 grocery bags, paper grocery bags, side by side. You can fit 3 carry-on bags behind the seats, standing upright. It's not bad, but it's not great. What really stinks is when you put the back seats down, they don't lay flat. They stay on a pretty severe incline. So anything you put on there just rolls back into the back of the vehicle anyway. That's frustrating. And I think for a lot of people it might be a deal breaker. So if you're going to check out a Defender 90, you definitely want to put those back seats down to see if that would work for you. The cool thing about folding those back seats down is you can fold down the left seat, the right seat, or the middle seat. So sort of like a pass-through if you've got skis or something. Some other really cool features in the Defender 90, this rear view mirror, which, if you flip it up, is now a camera. That's great if you're towing or if it's bad weather outside. It actually works quite well. And speaking of up here in this region, there's a third sun visor behind the mirror. That is ingenious. that needs to be in any car that has room for it, because that's fan-freaking-tastic. In an effort to be more fuel efficient, of course, the Defender has auto stop start. They were smart enough to put a defeat button right here on the dash. Perfect. That's right next to the hill descent control button. I would say the controls in the Defender 90 work pretty darn well. You don't really have to take your hands away from the steering wheel too much. The digital instrument cluster has a lot of screen space and provides a lot of information. You can access all the different features through the little thumb toggle here on the left-hand side of the steering wheel. And then for your center instruments, you've got this cool, almost trigger shifter, sort of like some of the older Mopar products had. And then two big dials that are nice to touch. They're relatively easy to work with, so you can just turn the knob to turn up and down the temperature for the HVAC. If you push it, that accesses the heated seat or cooled seats. This car only has heated seats. And then you push the button between the two dials, and that acts as the terrain response system, which pops up on the center screen. So really, it's simplistic, a little minimalist, and very functional. So if you're out crawling over, oh good lord, that's pretty. If you're out crawling over rocks, that's really nice. And the system responds quite quickly. Other than this touchscreen, which is just a little slow. There's a little bit of lag there that over time maybe can be updated with software to be improved, but you might grow weary of that. But this car is meant to be a go-anywhere utility vehicle in the true sense of the word. And I would say Land Rover hit the mark. This thing is cool. It looks awesome. I think that the 90 looks better than the 110. I think the 90, it looks short and stubby and tall and lean. And I can tell you, the turn radius is quite good. So if you're crawling between trees, off-road, things like that, where a 110 might be a little too long to get around a turn or through some rocks, the 90 is your beast. I'll tell you what, if you do venture off the beaten path, if you're somebody who's got a pickup truck and you dirty it up on the weekends, you might want to check out a Defender. Best 4x4 by far? I don't know, I haven't driven all of them. But I can tell you, it's badass.